We are live.
Yeah, we're live.
We're Smurf talking.
Smurfs surfing, all the fun stuff. We got Larry Rossi live with us at the Rusty Putter today.
Right, might have a few guests. My kids might run in. So
yeah,
heads
perfect.
up.
Well, it's a family affair around here.
Love that.
Larry, obviously, we've had a couple episodes with you. AreaWide Waterproofing, the go-to place for your wet bottom, your soggy bottom.
Correct.
If you're moist,
Keep our basement dry. Literally,
you got wet socks. Call Larry.
He's our crack.
Larry the crack.
There's a lot of jokes,
Yeah.
But it's a serious thing, and I'm learning stuff. We were just talking before the thing. There's programs. This guy knows a lot. He knows his crack.
Absolutely.
He could fix your cracks, and he could get a government agency to maybe subscribe to helping with your crack problem.
Village of Chicago Heights does that. They'll help you out with your
Are they the only one
crack issues
that you've heard about?
South Holland has a program also where they share costs with their village members, right? Anybody that lives in the town there, and they share those costs for crack foundation repair, sump pump installation, and plumbing issues as well. So if you have
Did not know that.
if you need to convert your basement drains into overhead drains, they'll share the cost of that.
Wow.
Right. So if you have water backing up in your basement through the drains, those need to be converted to overhead drains so it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
And the villages share some of those costs in South Holland, Chicago Heights.
That's pretty cool. Did not know.
It's listen, everyone loves getting their tax dollars back a little bit, right?
Yeah. We work that program a lot, especially in Chicago Heights, because it's cinder block foundations and those over time leak or bowl, those kind of things. So
we were talking before we hopped on here about all of this, the crazy rain events we seem to get every other Wednesday at this point. And we're still maybe in a little bit of a drought, even though we have these 4, 5, 6 inches of rain. But one of the things you were talking about, Larry, was the composition of the soil around your foundation when it's super dry and then just gets a ton of water and then the water's gone. And now we're dealing with maybe some bowing foundation walls or what else, what other problems besides the obvious 5 inches of rain is not the easiest thing to accommodate. Like what are some lingering effects that maybe these things have?
Yeah. And you're right on it. So a drought, for example, is going to shrink the earth away from your foundation. So it's going to leave a gap. And you might see those cracks in your lawn, for example, in the earth. And so when we get a super heavy rain, for an hour, that water is just going to run off into your ditch. It's not going to soak into the earth and fill in those voids. It's going to run right down your foundation. And when you have a cinder block foundation, that's a lot of water against that. And those become porous and they leak water.
Does that usually come at the foundation then, the crack along the bottom of the?
Yeah, here, I'll tell you something that nobody really thinks about. When you have a cinder block foundation and you're in your basement, where the floor and the wall meets, that first row of brick looks like it's about 3 inches tall. And it's not. It's a full brick sitting on your footing.
Right.
Because they pour the floor after the walls are built. So when water comes through the cinder block from hydrostatic pressure, just porous, everything's porous, over time leaks, that lands on your basement floor because it's not managed correctly.
So it's underneath. The water's actually under the floor and coming back up through the crack.
That happens as well, or it comes right through your brick wall and lands right on your floor.
And we've talked about it before, but absolutely not covered by any insurance you can buy anywhere. Like you cannot insure for this. You have to prevent it or maintain it. That's it. There's no insurance you can buy for that coverage. Wow.
Yeah, right. And I run into that a lot because we get called out a lot for inspections. And often it's because of flood in our basement.
And we have, I guess, cinder block foundation construction was what, 1950s, 60s, 70s? Is that kind of the time period of those houses that were built that have cinder block foundation? Or is there...
and why were they building like that? Is it just cheaper?
Cost effective. Yeah. Right. And, the cement truck with the trough to shoot into your foundation form didn't exist then.
You had to bring the
correct. You had to stock some lines.
Throw some bags of Quikrete over your shoulder.
Right. I mean, no, they stack stones that they pulled out of the ground or whatever. I see all kinds of foundations.
Yeah,
so it's
foundations.
The older homes in almost every town, downtown, everywhere has them, and probably a train just to settle that a little.
So if your home was built before what year, are you pretty much guaranteed to have a crack at some point.
I would say, I don't know. I mean, I've seen homes from the 1920s with poured concrete.
Really?
1.5 feet thick.
Oh my!
I mean, ridiculous. But
Yeah.
I've seen it because it wasn't perfected then.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say that, but I'd say like I said, the average home from like probably 19 for sure 65 maybe and down.
Yeah.
Mostly cinder block or stacked stone, especially here in the Midwest. So different everywhere throughout the country. But Northwest Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, those kind of Midwest areas have basements, right? They were built out of cinder block.
And the plumbing in and the proper channeling for a sump pump, probably not super popular in the 40s, 50s, and 60s either.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. And you're going to know what I'm talking about. Those terracotta pipes that are like that long, that kind of stacked together, that was the pipe.
No kidding.
And so that got stacked around your house on the outside and then tied into the sewer in your street. Well, they don't want the water in the street anymore. That's been cut off. Right. So that doesn't even work. So if you don't have a sump pump,
they put those parkway trees in too. So now you got tree roots growing into them.
into the tile. Not only that, they plant a decorative tree on the corner of everybody's house. That's finding its way into your drain tile. And if it comes apart just from settling, well, then you're going to have an issue. And you see that all the time.
You got to call Rubble on the Double, right? From Paw Patrol, or Larry. He'll fix it. He knows Rubble, just so you know.
He's kind of like Chase. He's always on the case.
That's right.
Also a big Smurf fan. Allegedly.
I don't know if you can use big and Smurf in the same comment. Yes.
So we know, and that's probably why it's South Holland and Chicago Heights. Like those are two communities that have had, probably large construction booms in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And so they're probably realizing at this point that it's way easier for them to maybe chip in a little bit with the homeowner or taxpayer to then maybe prevent a catastrophic event or a catastrophic loss with bowing walls, floods in the basement, all that stuff.
Or a condemned house, right? Because
all of that.
Yeah.
And that's not good for anybody in the neighborhood or the village. And it's TIF money, that they have, and they're allocating it to the village.
Yeah.
In a great way. And that's what's going on in that village. And there's other villages up and down the road that can use the same thing and aren't. But so yes, so we talk to them and we do market to the community about that program, try to let people know. It also fixes other issues. Cinder block walls are super common to have a giant bow in them. And it's called shear pressure. So right where the earth and your concrete wall or your brick wall come together, you'll catch a bow and a bow inside your house, like the earth is pushing it in.
Yeah.
Right. And what's really happening is it's falling out. It just looks like it's coming in.
Oh,
right on.
The optical.
Wait.
So what we're gonna do, and you'll see it.
Explain that.
So as the bow comes in, the top row of bricks is
falling
falling out. So what we're doing is we will stabilize the floor above that area, excavate that wall, hydraulically push it back out. There's a great video on my website.
That's cool.
It's so cool. And then waterproof the outside of the wall, put the drain system in, backfill with gravel so it flows great.
They're good for another 70 years.
It's good forever. I mean, we guarantee it for life.
Forever.
When you put the right systems in, they work great. We were just on a job, and this is what I'm saying, nothing I'm doing is rocket science. As a matter of fact, I think anybody could spill a glass of water and waterproof their house. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's water. Sure, there's some trades you can YouTube or some tricks to the trade. But I just redid a job that a plumber literally installed it last week, and they put the drain tile in and they cut the concrete and they put the sump pump pit in, but the water was coming through the brick wall and they didn't account for that. So the one piece of material that every waterproofing company would install didn't get installed.
Yeah.
And so the exact same money to tear the concrete back out.
Oh no.
And when you hit it with a jackhammer, you're going to destroy the tile that they just installed. Well, I don't know, but most likely. And if you don't, we're lucky. And I'm probably not even risking that.
Yeah.
And so
so they're paying because they didn't call the expert.
Right
that
on. I would rather
a theme on this show.
Yes, it's a very, very big theme. Hey, we're going to fix this problem over here, but don't worry about the waterfall over by the bricks.
I just had one. I had one in my condo we're selling downtown. I decided I was going to change all the outlets when we moved in there. Well, I messed it up, and then it was backfeeding and tripping, so I had to pay another electrician to come in and do the damn thing all over again 5 years later because I saved $35.
Right. So I love the DIY guy.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you can go on my website, buy a kit, watch a video, and do your own crack. And I will come out and fix it if you screw it up.
Yeah, there you go, because you know that they will.
Kind of, but go for it. And I support you. I'm a DIY.
Yeah.
I do it myself, so I'm all about it. But I would rather consult with you. Call me.
Yeah.
Help me for free information. I just want to see somebody get screwed because I've got to come back and redo it. And I don't want every job. That's not what I'm saying. I just want people to have success, what they're trying to do. That's all.
That's
and
cool.
it's really not that hard. And it's all on my website. There's so many videos of what we do. So you can talk to the contractor. I'll give you an example. We will take sinking foundations is a big thing. And if you don't have gutters on your house or your downspouts are right on your house and it's been that way forever, odds are your foundation is sinking. And the way you can tell is in the corner of your basement, there'll be like a V crack in the corner. That's because that corner is sinking.
Yeah.
Right and it happens all the time. So to fix that, it's a big deal. I mean, we are running a piece of steel down in the ground to the bedrock, attaching it to your foundation so that stabilizes that so it doesn't move anymore.
Holy cow.
Right. So that's all.
Sounds expensive to me.
Permitted work that it is kind of costly.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm half of my competitors, but it has to be done. And that's the way you do it. It's permanent work. You have to have a structural engineer. We're not just making up stuff. I mean, and throwing it against the wall. We are, but someone's approving it. So I tell people to call the structural engineer first. I mean, really, are you really going to call me out and 3 of my competitors to see what we have to say when you really don't even know what's up? And we're talking your building falling over.
Right.
And we're not going to hire a structural engineer anyway. Maybe you should talk to that guy first and call me out with the problem so I can address it, not tell you what the problem is. Somebody might be a salesman. I'm a repair guy.
Well,
I'm an estimator.
That's a big point to make is like the structural engineer. He's an engineer. He's not the guy building the remedy. He's the one drawing the remedy up and then giving you the playbook or giving whomever the playbook. So do you want to then work with the sales guy, middle guy who's pumping the stuff, or the guy that's in the trenches doing it? Like, because how many you've seen thousands of cracks, hundreds of thousands of cracks. That sales guy at a lot of these other large companies, they're just a sales guy. They're not in the trenches. They're not digging things out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's, I think, where you get that extra level of pro advice. And I think we can't go far enough in explaining, as Adam brought up earlier, there's no insurance that covers water coming from underneath. There's some insurances for water that maybe comes over the top and some other weird things, but I would venture to guess that outside of roofs, basement flooding and water intrusion are probably the second largest and most costly claim. I don't know.
Most frequent, actually.
Most frequent.
So we will cover water coming up if you endorse it, but through the wall, no.
Yeah.
And the way you think about that is we cover sudden and accidental. All the stuff we're describing is maintenance. It's overtime, the crack forms. You can't really insure for that.
It's about sinking foundations.
Yeah.
They all crack because they all settle.
Yes.
And then,
most of them.
From a mortgage and real estate and financing perspective, you brought up before we hopped on that you're getting a lot more requests for inspection type things and involvement from mortgage companies in the last couple months. Well, if we rewind about 2.5 months ago, we had to ask the CEO event with our CEO, Eric Egenhofer, and he was explaining that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have now made a highlight or, have really shown some light on maintenance issues on houses that would normally be called deferred maintenance, but are they critical or are they cosmetic? A lot of that, one of the biggest items on an appraisal, and we did this the last episode that you were on, is indicating if there's dampness or moisture or water intrusion in the basement. And why is that? Well, Adam just alluded to, there's a lot of situations that insurance companies are going to battle, maybe not cover at all. So now you have a huge issue, potentially a catastrophic issue on the house, maintenance related, that you can't get insurance for. Well, what's going to happen? You're either going to have to come up with a lot of cash or you're going to let the house go. And Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are seeing that because it's a known issue. So what do? If you know you have these problems and you're looking to sell your house, have a conversation with Larry.
Absolutely.
Reach out to them. They can obviously get you on your website. They can get you, we'll plug all that stuff in a little bit. There's another thing that you and I were talking about for a minute about like some horsepower and sump pumps, and another thing, we have a lot of people that are, buying a house and then selling their house after they move out. So you have a vacant home, and you had said that a battery backup, sump pump installed, all tied in, all that stuff, somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000.
Yeah, depending on what we have to do and how extensive we have to be with our installation.
That's if the sump pump's not there at all.
If the sump pump's not there at all, it's like $2,000. We'll put in a new sump pump and a backup system combination.
Nice.
And the advantage of the backup systems are peace of mind. I mean, I do see a lot of monitoring systems around people's sump pump, like they're using that to get a text alert, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But if you get that text alert, too late.
Yeah.
The water's already on your floor. I mean, so the backup systems are awesome because they're going to keep your house safe if the power were to go out. And another feature is if your main pump were to go out, you would have no idea until your basement flooded, and your backup system is going to manage that.
Right.
So your backup system's running on its battery and your lights are on in your basement. Well, then your main pump is out. You would never know until your basement flooded. So
yeah, beyond
security of when the light power goes out, backup systems are super valuable and worth every penny. And we don't overcharge a thing on those. They're worth all.
What about these like reverse flow water powered things I've read about? The sump pumps that are literally there's no power that does it.
Yeah, not familiar. Okay. So I can't speak much about them other than have had requests for those.
Right.
And I've talked with the plumber about it, and I've referred it to a plumber to install, and I'm just not educated enough to really talk about it.
Interesting.
But they're out there for sure.
Yeah.
And that would be a plumber.
And my point of bringing it up is like, so everyone asked me, should I insure this? Like, and by the way, it's an expensive, we talked about it before. It's an expensive addition to your homeowners. Why? Happens a lot, and it's expensive when it happens.
Yeah, man.
I mean, like when you bring in a water restoration company and they're charging $300 a day for a dehumidifier for 2 weeks, it adds up. That's not even accounting tearing it out and putting it back. But prevention is way more cost effective than insuring for it. So if you can back it up, do a reverse flow, like we're talking about $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. Your deductible is probably $5,000. So
that's the thing. Your deductible's at your premium's probably $2,000. Like, and this is not. It's not. Larry's not charging you every year for the backup. It's a one and done. And I think it gets overlooked a lot too. We have a lot of first time buyers that maybe are strapped for cash and are looking for a way to maybe cut a corner or two, not cut a corner like that, but lop off a little bit of budget. Help, right? And they maybe don't understand because they haven't gone through a water in the basement claim or any of these problems. But when you realize that you could fix it, you could maintain or address the known issue before it becomes a real issue, it's a million times cheaper. Because if you're all of a sudden having a catastrophic issue, chances are your neighbors are probably having it. Well, demand is going up, and now you're waiting for Larry scheduling or such other company that's probably charging like Uber surge rates for you. If you know it's an issue, have a conversation with a professional. Yeah. We have one right here. He's great. I mean, his company has the highest, like the same opinion of customer service as Adam's group, my group. Like they bend over backwards for people. I've seen it 1,000,001 times. And everyone's afraid to talk about like, water in the basement, all that stuff. And I think Larry, you brought up maybe a couple of good tips for first-time buyers to consider when they're going through and looking at houses. If your washer and dryer in the basement and they're sitting on blocks, a couple other, what are some of the things that you would see in like a problematic situation?
So I am in a home inspection, called in by a home inspector to look at a foundation 3 times a day. We do a lot of those inspections. Common areas are corners. Every corner on a house cracks. They don't all leak, but here's why I'm never going out of business. Right where that crack is on the corner, on the outside is a downspout. Bring in the water to the crack.
Yeah.
I'll never go out of business. So you want to make sure those downspouts have been extended. You want it away from the house. Us waterproofer guys are like 15 feet away, not 3 foot on some ridiculous looking extension above ground.
Yeah.
It's going to get kicked off by the dog or broken down by the sun or whatever.
Just going underneath and bringing it out.
It's just the best way to do it. And
the lawnmower is not going to hit it. You don't got to take it off.
Your kid's not going to kick it and knock it off, and you don't find out about it.
Tell your basement floods.
Do you guys do that?
Oh, for sure. We do a ton of it.
Right.
I'm a big believer in preventative maintenance.
Yes.
And it's so easy to see. Another hot area to look at when you're looking at a home, or might help you play detective. What I look for is water damage to the trim if there's finished basement, water damage to the wood that's holding up the stairs that are going in the basement. That's probably been there forever. It ever caught water, that might have some damage.
Yeah.
Rust on the furnace. I mean, why would that happen? And there's some reasons. Could happen from the inside out, but there's reasons. So those are the things I look at, and you can find my whole inspection list right on my website.
How about your nose? Your nose can probably sniff it out too. You're like, wait a minute.
Absolutely.
It smells a little bit musty down here.
I was burning incense down here.
Yeah. What is this cover up doing?
And I hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, cinnamon vanilla over musty basements does not smell great.
No.
Right?
Ooh.
I smelled that before.
You know exactly what I'm talking
basement.
about.
Yeah.
Right. And
you get that in Chicago Heights too.
on that subject, the all walls are porous. All basements are going to smell. Every basement should have a dehumidifier. All walls in a basement should get painted to block the vapors.
Yeah.
It's never blocking water.
Right.
But it will block the vapors so it doesn't off gas and odor. So I would seal basement walls for sure. I would have a dehumidifier no matter what. But it's not going to stop water. So the beam pockets that hold your house up, those are like right up at grade or maybe even above, but right at grade. And those will leak, right? Because it's a thinner piece of concrete. It's kind of up high. Those are cracks. So that's an area I look at all the time. So corners, the beam pocket, any window is going to have a crack most likely. So those are the areas I look. If you see staining on the bottom, that's from water.
Yeah.
If I were to come out and test something, we're going to use some type of moisture tracking device, which only helps us a little bit. If I were to run a hose on a crack, it's going to leak. Whether it leaks naturally or not wouldn't be what I'm doing. I'm running a hose on a crack and I'm going to make a leak.
Right.
What does a leak when it rains? That I'm going to tell by when I look for staining and things like that. So they all have a potential to leak is my point.
Awesome.
Whether they actually leak or not is all about what's going on when it's raining. And if you're selling your home or you just bought a home, you need to go outside when it's raining, and see if the water is dripping out of your gutter or if it's actually working. Or when we get a flash flood rain, it's just shooting right past through the valley of your house, right past your gutter because it's so much rain.
Pouring
right on. They make a backstop there. I don't know what it's called. I'm calling it.
Clear leaves out of your gutter.
Pet peeve of mine. The biggest pet peeve is that.
Yeah.
When I come up to your house and there's a couple of trees growing out of the gutters, I'm not really even talking to you about waterproofing yet.
Yeah.
Because it's not even fair. I'm going to fix all your stuff. Maybe I'm going to give you a warranty that might work because I'm going to tell you that if it floods, my warranty doesn't count.
Right.
I mean, come on. We got to work. Everything works together.
Interesting. Your
first line of protection, gutters and downspouts, comes with the house. First line. So you got to make sure that's working. We do a lot of that. So if I come to evaluate what's going on, I'm looking in your basement while you call this out because you're most likely staying in a puddle of water with an issue. And sure, we're doing that, but I'm going outside to see what's going on. If you were to send me a photo, which you totally could, I can give you a bid online, most likely, and just come fix it and not have to go through the process of coming and then coming back, save everybody time. But I'd want a photo of the outside too to see why that water was coming in.
Yeah.
What am I going to see out there? A big lake against the side of your house? Do you need more of the, you know what I mean? So there's things.
On the topic of all the repairs and whatnot, Adam, from an insurance perspective, is there any discounts or maybe reduction in premium if you have battery backup or anything like that at all? Nothing really exists.
No, it just
peace of mind.
If you do that, then maybe you don't have to buy the insurance. If you've done all that stuff, maybe you can save the $600 a year for the 15 years you live there. So do that math real quick. Yeah. You can save that money. If you have the prevention in place.
I mean, there's some of those jobs that are really foolproof that, if I was going to be finishing my basement, I'd be making sure I didn't have a water issue. And believe you me, Murphy's Law comes into play every time.
Yep.
And if you don't fix every crack, it's going to end up on not only drywall, a door jamb behind your furnace. I mean, it'll be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just you got to do that. And if you have somebody out to inspect it, and you might think, well, I'm inviting the shark into the fish tank to come eat me. But that's not it. I mean, it is with some sales guys. If someone shows up in a pair of slacks and some, Skechers,
Run.
That's an issue, right?
In a Porsche.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
They
That's
like
an
German
issue.
engineering. Right? Have to drive fast.
So I mean, you need a good, honest opinion, and but really, especially if you're finishing your basement, good time to spend the money.
Love it.
Kind of wrapping it up, I think maybe a misconception that home buyers, like first-time buyers, may have is if the house doesn't have a sump pump or it doesn't have this other drain type stuff, you can put that in. Like it didn't have. It's not like it's not there. It can't be put in. Like that can all be dug out and installed and everything else now, right? And that's something you guys do.
Yeah, I've got awesome videos, and so here's why you don't have a sump pump. Most cases, because the tile to keep your house safe was installed during construction and runs right out to your street. So you didn't need a pump to push it. It runs downhill to the sewer, which has been disconnected because they don't want the water in the sewer.
Yeah.
So now it is your responsibility, and you do need a sump pump.
Yeah.
But you didn't when they built your house, and that was all great until around 1990 when they decided they were
when they figured it out.
Yeah. Now they smoke test your house and the sewers to see who's hooked up and who isn't.
Interesting.
Right on. So
they'll catch you.
Yeah, they'll get you.
We do a great job of fixing that.
They'll check your soggy socks. That's how they get you. Hey, why is his feet sloshing around? Larry, we talked a lot about things on your website, your customer service and your guys' response times. How do people get in touch with you? How do they find your website?
Yeah, AreaWideWaterproofing.com is the best way to go. You can look through our videos, identify what's going on in your home if you want to take time to do that. Our office phone number, 708-274-7467. You can text a photo there. We'll get you back a bid online. If it's that really pays dividends in a real estate situation where you've got an attorney review going on, if you need to get it fixed because they're saying fix it, we can get right out and give a bid online. If you need that estimate and that report for your closing, we're going to come out and get that inspection, all
Perfect.
before attorney review is up because we understand what that means.
Love it.
That's all you can really ask for. I think that the level of service and the timeliness and the promptness that you guys deliver there keeps the industry flowing quite a bit. Maybe water not flowing in, flowing out, but that's the agents and attorneys and some other people we've had on here want you guys to understand, like, you don't have to panic about a lot of this stuff. When you have a good professional that's right there, that's available to give you great advice and to do great work and back it up, there's nothing to panic about. It's a regular thing. As Larry indicated, pretty much every house is going to have a crack somewhere.
Yeah.
Water might come in, it might not come in. You don't know when it's going to come in, but proper maintenance. I don't know how many, like every week it's the same thing. Maintenance fixes problems, professionals fix problems. That's it. Anything else?
Here's where the real value is and what our consumers say to us. It's really the value. We're not letting you down. My daughter's answering your phone. My son's coming to do a crack or someone that he's managing.
Yeah.
And that's my family. We're coming back.
Right.
So when you have, when you're going to have a problem with a repair, mine or someone else's, when you go to sell your home that day, not the day you sell it, the day they do the final walkthrough. I'm never letting anybody hanging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's big.
You get in with us, you're part of our family. We're not going anywhere. We're coming back and we're fixing the problem, ours or otherwise. So, I'm sure we eat from this, what we do for a living, but we're not getting rich. What we're doing is getting people's basements dry.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So
you don't answer to shareholders. You just answer to Katie and
she cuts my check. So, yes.
That's I love it. Well, we appreciate you hopping on again. We know we've had lots of crazy rain events. So if you guys want to get through your preparation checklist, Larry's got a checklist. They got send pictures, send explanations. They'll get out there. They'll help you. I've used them before. I know lots of people that have used them before. I don't think anyone has been disappointed with the service or the follow-up. As we could probably say, a few things in life are undefeated: gravity, water, and the United States and world wars. Maybe that's about it.
Right.
We'll see how that pans out even further.
Also, the Bradley football team since 1972.
Wow, what's on the way?
Oh yeah, they're real solid, huh?
Undefeated.
But
Drop the program.
Been looking for that football field for a while around there in Peoria.
That's fine.
All right. Well, if that's it, we'll see you guys next Wednesday. We're out. Get your floaties, get your kayaks, and build your ark.
Awesome.
See ya.
I'm done. Cut the show.